Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the football season is all but done. 4 teams remain, which means 14 teams couldn't care less about the finals and just want to see who is coming into their club next season to win the flag next year. Because at this point, honestly, as a fan of a club that isn't in the finals, I couldn't care less about any of the finals talk. I just want to hear trades, and I know that's why you guys are here too. If you guys like my summary of the trade period, make sure to leave a like and hit subscribe for more trade period news coming up later in the off-season. Let's get into 10 big names who will be on the move this off-season. One of the biggest names in the AFL, Dustin Martin, retired in 2024, leaving to an applause of a packed-out MCG until he said, "Psych, I'm not leaving. I'm just going up to the Gold Coast to secure a payday before I retire." Now, he can walk into Gold Coast with no obligation for Richmond to trade or anything like that. But do Gold Coast really want and need a Dustin Martin? Obviously, he's got Damien Hardwick up there. Obviously, Daniel Rioli's heading up there. But do Gold Coast need Dustin Martin at this stage in their development? Their midfield is stacked. I feel like they don't really need any more midfield depth. In fact, guys like Alex Davies are leaving because they can't get a game. They've got guys like Bailey Humphrey in their forward line who probably play a similar role to what Dusty would. And it just feels like Dusty wants to get out of the limelight in Melbourne, go and kick his sandals off on the beach and live life on the Gold Coast, earning a few $100,000 a year lazily. I'm not sure. I'm a big fan of Dusty Martin. I think he's the GOAT. This move could happen. He could come out of retirement. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about this move for Dusty. The other expansion club, GWS, agonisingly lost on the weekend, choking another lead in the fourth quarter as they did to the Swans in the first week of finals. And 2 names that have been thrown up all year are Isaac Cummings and Harry Perman. Isaac Cummings is looking to go to the Crows most likely, although he has had interest from clubs in Victoria and from the Dockers, I believe. He's played 81 games across 7 seasons, so only in 3 of his 7 years in the AFL has he played more than 20 games, which doesn't scream reliability and consistency, but there's no doubt when he's in, he is a Jet. He's an unrestricted free agent, so he is looking to sign his future somewhere else and hopefully get a good run of games and have some success later in his career. Harry Perman was taken in the same draft, the 2016 draft. They were both first-round picks, and he is also looking to move. So this Giants first-round pick exodus continues with 2 pretty solid rebounding type defenders. Harry Perman is expected to leave and has big offers from a few clubs. Port Adelaide are probably the front runners in this trade period, with reports coming out that he has been offered a 6-year deal worth $850,000 a season from Port Adelaide. That is absolutely ridiculous money. These deals are just going to get bigger and bigger every season. We've seen it happen in the Premier League over the last decade where the money just doesn't make sense. Obviously, it's on a smaller scale, but for Harry Perman, who is a solid player, to be getting $850,000 a year walking into Port Adelaide, it's pretty bonkers. Hawthorn are also in the mix, but they're going to be trying to get their hands on Tom Barrass and Josh Battle. So we'll see where this lands. What we do know is Harry Perman will be playing for a different club in 2024 and will be getting that dosh. Before we continue on with the video, I just wanted to mention that Drewzy's Athlete Academy is up and running for the off season. If you didn't know, when I'm not making YouTube videos, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. I've worked with athletes for over 4 years now, and it's my job to elevate the performance of footballers. Whether you need some structure with your gym training, just knowing how to navigate the gym in the off season, or some structure with your off season running, I can help you out and coach you through it personally, one-on-one. If you need to reduce your 2K time trial, I get some incredible results with these guys on this program. These guys are high-level sort of teenage athletes that are looking to get drafted. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can head over to my Instagram at druzy.athleteacademy and DM me off-season training, and I can help you have a massive off-season ready for 2025. And maybe you can get drafted and get a trade somewhere yourself one day. So head over to my Instagram at druzy.athleteacademy if you're interested. The Bulldogs Premiership player Jack McCrae has officially requested a trade out of Footscray. Now, this is mind-boggling stuff. The man's a 3-time All-Australian, a genuine ball magnet, a Premiership player, an accumulator of the footy, and the Dogs put him in the 2s this year. Go figure. I don't know why they preferred Ed Richards to him. To be fair, Ed Richards had a good season, but Jack McCrae, he's fed up. He's had enough, and he says, I am getting out of this kennel to spread my legs. And I think the front runners for Jack McCrae's services are going to be the St Kilda Football Club, who are in desperate need of some elite midfield depth. He's from Victoria. I think he's likely to stay in Melbourne. He's played 230 games, so he's very experienced. He's probably got another couple years left in him of high-quality stuff. Is this going to be a long-term fix for the St Kilda midfield? Probably not, but will it make them better and help them push to finals next year? I think so. This deal might have already been confirmed by the time this video comes out. This one is absolutely on Jack McCrae to leave the Doggies and most likely go to St Kilda. Woof. Another big name who looks to be on the move this offseason is Jake the Package Stringer. This man is a showstopper. When he's on, you can't stop him. He's strong through the hips, breaks tackles, and kicks bloody big goals. Now, I actually thought Jake Stringer had a really good season in 2024. He was pretty heavily scrutinised. He's a player that gets scrutinised quite a lot because we know how good he can be. But coming into this year, it was a case of, right, Stringer needs to lift if Essendon are to be a serious side. And although Essendon fell away later in the year, they played some good footy this season. And I think Jake Stringer was a big part of that. Apparently, Essendon have not come out with a significant offer that's going to keep Jake Stringer at the club, but there's not a whole lot of interest from him. Collingwood are looking into his services, and I think that could be a juicy get for the Pies as they look to launch back into finals contention and premiership contention next year. Another player with that X factor. I think they lack a bit of that, big body power in their forward line. Maybe Dan McCrae comes back in and provides them with that. But I think Jake Stringer could be a great fit at the Pies. And just imagine the theatre and the drama on Anzac Day when Jake Stringer walks out in the black and white. It'd be absolutely mental. Zach Merritt is not happy with this situation. I think, as the leader of the football club, as a bloke that actually plays with his heart on his sleeve every week and goes out there and would die for the Bombers, he's not liking that they're letting a player of Jake Stringer's quality go, and Jaden Laverde is another player that might be on the move. So Merritt has been approached by St Kilda, apparently, to ask if he's willing to move. I don't think that one will happen, but it is being talked about at this moment. Dustin Martin isn't the only Martin on the move this trade period, because Jack Martin looks like he's going to be on his way to Freo and wear the purple in 2025. Reports are saying that he has completed his medical with Freo, which is obviously a big part of this move because Jack Martin is a player who is highly injury prone. There's no doubt on his day that Jack Martin is a jet. He's a game changer and he can bring a bit of X factor into our front half. But it's just a question of his commitment to his body, to his health. Can he get his body right to play that consistent footy? We don't want another Jesse Hogan story where we can't get a player's soft tissue injuries right and he ends up just eating up salary cap space and leaving a few years later. But if we can get his body right, we'll get him in for absolutely nothing as he's a delisted free agent. This could be an absolute steal. So I think Freo will make this happen, give him a deal that's not too crazy, and that could bolster our forward stocks. And let's see where this one goes, but I think this one will happen. A player going from WA to Melbourne, the opposite way to Jack Martin, is another fella called Jack. It's Jack Darling, who has reportedly just completed a medical with North Melbourne, and it's looking like he's going to be signing a 2-year deal at the Roos. I like this deal. Although Jack Darling can be a frustrating player at times, I think he's pretty solid, to be honest. I think he'll free up Nick Larkey, provide a bit of leadership in that forward line. He's obviously a premiership player. I feel like he's won an All-Australian jacket as well at some point in his career. But he's just going to provide a bit of depth, a bit of experience, which North Melbourne need. It reminds me of what Melbourne did, I think in the early 2010s, where they brought in guys like Bernie Vince, Dawes, just like a few guys that are just older players that could provide some experience. I think that's what North are looking to do under Clarkson. Another player that could provide a great bit of depth and experience is Luke Parker, who on his day is an absolute jet. He goes forward, he kicks goals, he can play in the midfield, and just having that versatility for North is something that they don't really have at the moment. That experience, as I said, is something that they're looking to add to their list, and with the list depth at Sydney at the moment, he hasn't really been able to crack into the side, obviously with a bit of suspension and injury in 2024. Maybe He wants to see the twilight of his career out at North Melbourne, play consistent footy and contribute to a new project. This one, I'm not sure if it'll materialise, but I definitely think that North Melbourne have put the feelers out for Luke Parker. Another giant on the move this offseason is reportedly going to be Nick Haynes, who has a lot of interest from Carlton. It's being reported he's a 32-year-old veteran. Just adds a little bit of defensive stocks to the Blues. Now, he's only managed 8 games this season. I feel like he could get more games next year at the Giants if Perman and Cummings are to move. But if he wants consistent footy, maybe a bit of a change, apparently the Blues are interested in his services. So watch this space, Blues fans. You could be acquiring Nick Haynes. Is he going to be the guy to really bolster you guys? And I don't know. Is he the guy? Remains to be seen. He hasn't played his best footy in a while, obviously not being able to crack a very good Giants side. So watch this space. We shall see. And Elliot Himberg, brother of Harry Himmelberg, is looking to leave the Crows and go to the Gold Coast. Now, apparently, in last year's trade period, he was pretty close to going to GWS, but that move obviously didn't materialise. With Casbolt and Sam Day looking to retire at the end of this season, I think the Suns are looking to bolster their tall forward stocks, and Elliot Himmelberg will do just that. He'll probably play second fiddle to Ben King and Jed Walter down there, but just having that in the back pocket, Elliot Himmelberg is a handy player to have. So there's 10 more big name players that I expect to be on the move this off-season. Get in the comments down below if any of your clubs have any big trades coming in and how you see this trade period unfolding. Before you click off the video, I'd appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe if you're new for more off-season content. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, you plonkers.